It's Earth 1111, it's Roxanne. Every single person, every scenario in your reality is playing a role to trigger you, to keep on pissing you off, to get all of those programs, all of those ego aspects up and out of you. So every single person isn't out there to get you. They're playing a role. You have called them in to your awareness. Literally, your energy has brought them in that scenario to trigger you in order to see and to heal that energies and those cellular programs that are still operating in your DNA, inside your cells, that need to be healed. It's the whole point of mastering the ascension process. You are a master, and this is how we do it. We'll talk about that today. When you feel your own ego, which is any aspect of you, any personality trait, any thought, any emotion that comes up in you that's not pure joy, pure love, pure light, as soon as you feel that, so you'll have a trigger point. Someone will usually trigger it. And you can go with that. You can go with that ego aspect and blame the other person for doing this and that, and you're a victim. Or you can realize that everyone in your reality is playing a role. Is playing a role to wake you up. So they're showing you what energies you still have revolving around inside your cells, in your DNA. Everyone, from the person on the street to the person that having road rage behind you, to family members and friends, anyone, they are all showing you what energies you're holding still, because you only resonate with what energies you have inside yourself. So if you've cleared something, you will no longer come across those situations instantly, forever. It will never happen again unless you create more of these energies, which are, people like to call them karma. Karma is just energy programs, energy, essentially think of them, like I said before in other videos, energy cords. So little tornadoes, little channels of energy that are running through your energy system. So it could be physical, mental, emotional, astral, etheric, it doesn't matter. Any energy stream that's not in complete coherence with the way it should already be, that's not aligned, will create a blockage. It will literally create a pull. So think of yourself when you're in your heart, you're in your center point of your fullness. You're in the 0 point field of your heart. You're sitting in the center of your body in complete mastery. When something triggers, you will literally be sucked down the rabbit hole. The rabbit hole being the cord, the energy channel. So like a river, like a stream, but powerful. It's way beyond just a river. It's a spiral of energy, like a black hole, sucking you into that aspect. Because that aspect is an ego aspect part of you. So that energy channel at the end of that is a part of you that's been walled off, that's been hurt, abused, that's endured trauma, abuse. It could be anything. It could be a loss. Any part of you that's been walled off, separated from love, because love is in your center point, love is in your heart. Any energy channel that goes away, that is an energy cord heading out of your heart area, which is the whole, is separated from the light, separated from love. It is not loved. It has been ignored, rejected. Maybe you've been embarrassed about this part of yourself. Maybe you've hated this part of yourself. But that's the key to know, is instantly when someone triggers you, or when you're triggered, when you instantly have, so this is always instant. It's not something that we think about. It's an instant feeling of annoyance, or of irritation, or of rage that comes up. Sadness, fear, it could be anything. Anything not in pure love. What happened? You left your heart, you have literally zoomed down the spiral out of your heart. So you are now operating from the ego aspect. You're operating from this part of you that's been walled off from love, from light. and it acts as its own little entity. So this is why people say, oh, all these entities and demons and stuff are attacking me, psychic attack. It's your own energy, ego aspects. It's your own entities, because we're all consisting of billions of different quantum aspects, different soul parts. Every single electron, every single atom, every single microcosmic part of us and macrocosmic part of us is all making up the whole. So we have a multitude of soul aspects, all these little entities that can either work against us or work with us. So when you've been triggered, mastery is all about immediately noticing when someone or something has triggered you. You don't go into victim mode, blame. Oh, it's this person's fault. This person ripped me off. This person cut me off. This person annoyed me, so I have a right to be pissed off. No. That person played the role to piss you off. So you could realize that there was something in yourself to clear. As soon as something comes up in you, that rage, that hurt, that fear, you have an opportunity to clear it. In that moment, you can go, no, I'm going to come back to center. So always remember, you've left your center point, you left your heart, your 0 point. You went channeling down the rabbit hole, wherever this entity, ego aspect of yourself, they're never negative, they're always hurt little children. This is what people call them, wounded children. So these are all part of yourself. Whether it's an adult, it doesn't matter. Whether it was something that happened yesterday, they're all wounded. So we think of them as innocent, beautiful, pure beings that have just been hurt, that have been ignored, rejected, not loved. So when you travel down the rabbit hole, and it's always instantaneous. It's never, oh, well, I'm heading down there slowly. It's instant. You will go from being in your heart to instantly triggered. And this is, we've all had this. We all have that trigger point, multiple ways. So when you have that trigger, you know that you've already left your center point, your heart. You're now existing from wherever this ego aspect exists in time and space, in the magnetics of the field. So you might be way over 5 miles on the left. You might be way over down on the right. It doesn't matter where it is. You are now operating from that hurt aspect of yourself. So you have now you've merged with that ego aspect. You're now acting, and this is why people act crazy. This is why people act like little brats. It's their inner child. It's that little 2-year-old aspect of them that's been hurt. It's that teenage aspect of them. It doesn't matter. So this is why people act so out of character in the flip of a moment when something triggers. It's because you are now operating from that ego aspect. So the key to mastery is to instantly identify when that happens. Instantly. So the second you start having yourself go on a rage, the second you have that feeling rage up inside you, it's an emotion, it could be a thought, a thought loop that goes on and on. It could be a pain in the stomach. It could be a fear. It doesn't matter. All of a sudden you could be barking orders at someone. Whatever that may be in you, and again, it happens in a multitude of ways. And it's not just, we're all essentially damaged goods until we heal ourselves. We're all fractaled selves, these aspects that need to be healed. So the key is you don't get angry with yourself. You immediately recognize when you have left yourself and you've now become that ego aspect, and you're now operating unconsciously. And this is why it's so instant. You all of a sudden instantly start bitching at someone, or you instantly start being in complete shock and fear, or you instantly, it doesn't matter, right? We all have many, many ways that we operate. Mastery is as soon as that happens, recognize that in the moment, because the further you allow that to happen, if you let it happen, say you let it happen for 1 second, you get back in your heart, you can fold that aspect back in, that energy channel, that tornado, that rabbit hole, you can collapse it back into the heart, and you can say, no, Not going to happen. I'm love. I will love you. And you love that part of yourself. You love that ego aspect that's been hurt, ignored, walled off. It's a part of you. It might be acting like a little brat. It might be acting like an entity, but it is a part of you that's been so hurt and wounded and damaged that it acts for its own, it acts like its own identity. It acts as if it's its own separate self, and it has no love, so it acts completely incomplete programs. So when that happens, instantly identify and get back in your heart, collapse that part of yourself, say, nope, that's my ego. I recognize that. I love you. I love myself. I love this part of me. And you go back in your heart and you be gentle, be loving. Don't be aggressive and be like, you bad part of yourself, or you bad entity or ego aspect, because you're just going to wall and separate it off more. It's been separated. That's the whole problem. You need to collapse it into the whole and re-merge that part of yourself back with your heart. Then it's healed. And you will notice next time that same scenario happens, because everything happens in a like an onion. Or like layers of a glacier. We all have many layers of these, but you will watch next time that happens, next time that trigger point happens for you, it won't be as hardcore. It'll be minor. It'll be light. So the more you allow that ego aspect to control you, the stronger it gets. The further, essentially, the energy channel, the rabbit hole is from your heart. So you could be 1 billion miles away, and it's going to have less light and way more power pulling you out of your body, pulling you out of your heart, than an aspect that you catch right away and you collapse it back in that might only be 2 inches from your body, let's say. So that's the key. The longer you say you let yourself go on a rage, a rampage, or a fear feeling for 5 minutes, well, you now have allowed that spiral to continue for 5 minutes. It's now way further out from center than it could have been. You've given it power. You've given that small part of yourself, that hurt part of yourself, power, instead of loving that part of yourself and bringing it back into the whole and becoming in your full power, becoming empowered. So that's mastery in a nutshell. Every time you're triggered, whether it's yourself that triggered, whether it's you just have a feeling of fear come in, again, right now there's a lot of energies going on. There's a lot of purging going on with Mother Gaia, with solar flares, with energies going on around, portals open. So there might not even be a trigger point. You might just all of a sudden feel a complete fear inside you. Notice when that happens, okay, no, not going to let myself be in fear. I'm safe. Just talk to yourself. Talk to yourself like you're a little baby, and even picture yourself holding yourself as a little baby, as a little child, whatever age you think it is. It doesn't matter. Hug yourself. Say you're safe. I'm safe. I'm loved. I'm not going to let that ego aspect control me anymore. I'm in my empowerment. I'm in my heart. And just keep saying it until the energy is released, until it's weaker. You will feel there's a shift. If you're still in fear, just really try to deep breathe. Try to shift yourself. Maybe, put some funny videos on, get some music going, dance, really get that energy out of you. It's energy that needs to move.